Now, all of a sudden, Barack Hussein Obama is the man of the people, the man who came out of the slums to rise to the White House, the man who came from humble origins, while Mitt Romney is the scion of great wealth, this supposed multi-millionaire who's out of touch, who's had everything handed to him on a silver platter. In fact, according to Obama, wink, wink, Obama wasn't born with the silver spoon in his mouth. Boys, roll the clip.
Somebody gave me an education. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Michelle wasn't. But somebody gave us a chance.
Yep. And let me tell you what the liberal media has not been telling you, and in fact lying to you for the last 3.5 years. Obama was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. First of all, on Romney, very quickly. Yes, his father made a lot of money. But his father was dirt poor. His father didn't even have a college education. His father literally picked himself up by the bootstraps. He embodies the American dream. And instead of taking his father's inheritance, Romney rejected it. And he went out on his own. And honestly, legally, ethically, he built up a vast fortune as a venture capitalist through his own firm, Bain. He created thousands and thousands of jobs. Whatever you may think about him, he may be stiff as a board. He may be inauthentic. He may not be the most likable guy in the room. He may not be the kind of conservative I go for or you go for. But say what you want about Mitt Romney, he got it honest. He worked in the private sector. But what about that con man in the White House? Mr. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Really? First of all, Mr. Obama, you were raised primarily by your grandparents from your white mother. You were raised in an overwhelmingly middle-class home. You never went hungry. You had a roof over your head. You had a shirt on your back. You had good meals. You went to some very good schools. And by his own admission, this comes from his straight from his autobiography. He was a C student in public school. He then went to Occidental College, C student. All of it paid for. By his own admission, when he was in Occidental College, he smoked pot. He was doing cocaine. He was snorting lines of cocaine, something the media won't even touch. And then, how does a C student suddenly get into Harvard Law? And not only get into Harvard Law, but is made president of the prestigious Harvard Law Review in an interview he gave to the school newspaper, as I point out in the column. He admits he was a beneficiary of affirmative action and racial quotas. He then goes on to Columbia. He then goes on becoming an adjunct teacher at Chicago. He then becomes a community organizer, getting one government grant after another. Then a state legislator in Illinois, then a U.S. senator, and then he becomes president of the United States. Every step of the way in his career, he is living off the taxpayer's dime. And here's the kicker. Obama is a multi-millionaire. I looked at his tax returns between 2006 and 2011, just those 5 years. He and Michelle combined made nearly $16 million selling books, primarily his 2 autobiographies. Now, it's a free country. You can sell books. But what did Obama do? What every politician in Washington does. They leverage their public office to enrich themselves personally. That's what he did. So every step of the way, he's been spoon-fed. Usually at the taxpayer's expense. Usually on your dime. So, Mr. President, you're not part of the 99%. You're part of the 1%. You're one of the wealthiest Americans in America. He and Michelle will never go missing for a meal for the rest of their lives. She has blown nearly $10 million just on these constant vacations. They travel the world in the lap of luxury. This man has become one of the wealthiest, most successful Americans. And yet he stands there and acts like he's somehow Joe Sixpack? Like somehow he comes from the people? Like somehow he comes from these humble origins? That he somehow understands the middle class, but Romney doesn't? Whoa, 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 Mr. President. Whoa, 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 whoa. You are the very definition of a spoiled, pampered, liberal elitist who's had everything given to you your entire life.